Well, welcome back to Dungeons and Dragons. Still don't know how to start these, and that's it. Last time the team had completed their testing of the bow. Varys did a little identify on it for the shopkeep and found out that it was the bow of... Fucking, I had it written down here somewhere. It's gone. It's just obviously. Hold on. No. Maybe.
It started with an N.
It does start with an N. Nylea. There's the bow of Nylea. Nylea being an archfey in control of seasons, and found out that there's a bunch of seasonal related stuff, so long as you are appropriately a worshipper of Nylea, which nobody is. And only Micaiah was able to do it because they were a little bit more elven.
Religious?
Well, more, they have more connection to the Fae. They have a more direct connection to Nylea than anybody else. Basically. But of course, no one wanted to buy it because obviously no one could use it, so I gave it back to him and like, hey, this is a deal. And he was like, thanks. Here's 100 gold for doing that for me. And that was cool. And the team went and had a short rest because they were all pretty fucked up from the fight with the quicklings. And while that was happening, Jin went and did a little sneaky mission to the top of the Druid Tower to try and get some more information. Also talked to the shopkeep again for some rumors about where they were going. Found out about... found that the place they're going, the Everthicket Wood, is about 3 days' journey from where they were. That no one in the town seems to know exactly how big the Everthicket Wood is going to be for them, especially in their journey towards the Queen of Air and Darkness. But past, apparently, according to rumor, past Everthicket Wood is a mountainous range where her fortress lies, and in that area, in that mountainous range, there is constant bands of hunters going around called the Wild Hunt, who ride darkened steeds and use human-faced hounds to hunt for anything that's not supposed to be there, and will do bad things to them. Talk to the druids, the druid Gestalt that's at the top of the tower, who basically was like, we think it's too risky for us to go, that's why we're sending you guys, we have faith that you guys can do it. And Jim was like, hell yeah, I'm that cool, I'm gonna do it.
Because the druid played on his ego.
Exactly. Otherwise, they set on their journey after that. A whole day's worth of travel. They passed a couple of seemingly elf hunters who were returning back from their own little hunt with some meats and furs. They obviously hid from them for some reason. And it seemed like one of them noticed that they were hiding but didn't care. But they avoided that interaction entirely. But they also passed by a band of hobgoblins that were canoodling around a campfire. I don't know why I went with that word. And just entirely avoided that interaction as well, because there was a lot of them and it didn't seem like a fight they wanted to take. When they reached the point at which they felt like it was a day, long enough that they were all pretty tired, and started to long rest for the night. So, yes, so Varys and Thrakus went on first watch, and created a spike growth bomb.
Are we supposed to be just in this corner random bit
So
of the forest right now?
there is no strict map. So the reason why you guys have a world map, if everyone remembers, is because someone actually gave it to you. You actually have a map that allows you to see where you're going. You do not have that for the Feywild. You are just sort of shooting in that direction. But of course you do have someone with you who is pretty good at this terrain, so you're not going to get lost, but you don't know you don't have a good topography here. That's why you're not seeing exactly where you are, which is unfortunate for the people watching this, but hey, them's the breaks. Yes, so team is currently doing watches. Thrakus and Varys have done their watch. Jun just completed their watch, and it was now going to be Ailey's watch, which is why we
with who?
with just Ailey. Yeah, I assume that that Micaiah will take the last watch for this. So, Jun, how do you wake up Ailey to perform their watch?
I don't know. I feel like he's not going to be too antagonistic.
That's a change.
Oh my god, I just had the funniest idea, but I will leave it with Thrakus. Yeah, I think he's just gonna nudge Ailey with his foot into wakefulness.
Okay.
Ailey's well past the exhaustion, right?
I mean, everyone's about the same time. Oh no, you were. It's been a while since that. You slept a couple of nights since. Well, so you're fine.
Yeah.
So.
Alright. Ailey will get up and stretch and reach around for their morning glass of whiskey to continue their turn on watch.
Perfect. Roll me your perception check.
It does say game pause. Is this going to break or is it going to work?
That should work. Game pause just means you can't move your token around. Oh boy. Alright.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Ailey grabbed the wrong alcohol. Didn't wake her up.
I mean, I would say you probably, that Jun kept you awake enough. You sort of grumbled, sat up. You started drinking out of the bottle, and Jun was like, "Yeah, that's morning Ailey. Yep, that'll do." But then, you immediately lay down with the bottle and went back to sleep with it in your mouth like it was a bottle, a baby bottle.
Yeah.
And luckily, Micaiah awakes because they don't have to sleep as long as they're an elf. Awakes to find you there, knees up in fetal position with this bottle in your mouth, sucking whiskey out of it as much as you possibly can.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Just
a baby sucking on their bottle.
Exactly.
Occasionally taking a break from the bottle to suck on their thumb.
Yeah. So Micaiah will make their own perception check. You guys don't know what they see. They're not a player character. But seemingly they don't notice anything terrible. As they eventually awaken you all from your long rest, you may all take a long rest.
Is it a new day?
It would be considered a new day for your
Okay.
or anything that matters.
Long rest though,
It is a long rest.
but not new day.
No, it would be a new day for anything that's considered a new day.
Well, okay, then.
You can just hit it again and hold on. Yeah,
There was nothing else to recover anyway, so it didn't make any difference.
That's fine. Just wondering how many hit dice you had used, but that's fine. Cool, that's everybody, I think. Yeah, Mackay, Thrax, Varus, Cod, Swallow, Jun, Ailey. Perfect. Okay. Everybody awakens for the day. Yeah. I'm sure. Check here. I'm sure that all of you notice that Ailey seems to have slept a lot more than they should have. But Micaiah does not say anything about it.
Jin's gonna say to Varus, like, under his breath, kind of like, I did wake her up. Like, what?
Yeah, I don't know. Guess all that gold being stolen really took it out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, their mental stress, their mental health.
Yeah.
The worst thing that could have happened to Ellie.
Yeah. It's like Ailey's worst nightmare came true.
No gold.
Not a single coin on their person. Yeah, you're right.
Take away their hoard? No thanks.
Cool. Alright, well, onwards, I guess.
And upwards.
Onwards and upwards. Okay. I'm going to try and streamline this one because it's going to be a couple of days travel. So, can I get a survival check from you, Thoricus, at advantage? A perception check from you, Varus, at advantage.
Cool.
A stealth check from you, Ailey, at advantage. And a charisma check of any variety you want there, June, at
Wait, what was that?
a stealth check, at advantage, please. Yeah, but June, any of the charisma ones you want, at advantage.
Oh.
I love how I rolled like a 4 before and it was still a 15.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is just a general, like, you guys are skilled at the things that you do. And you're gonna have the best absolute chance at this. Yep.
Jin's gonna intimidate his way through the forest. He's
Perfect.
just being so, like, bold in his unearned confidence on this journey that he's just, like, intimidating the forest around him.
Yeah, right.
If I make everyone else scared, I won't be scared. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Feywild, who knows, it might work.
Well, it does, apparently. You can. I'll mark,
It's above 20.
I made
no.
myself laugh too much.
I will mark off in the big holding. What are we saying here? The rest of your meals that are in there, as you go through the rest of your journey, seemingly unfazed, no real issues. You are both, you slink past any and all fey creatures that you come upon. Thoricus leads the way even when the path seems to twist and turn and even get lost throughout. It seems like anything that is threatening stays well off of your path due to that pure intimidation coming out of Jun.
Yes.
And Varys is keen-eyed and makes sure that nothing gets too close. You guys sleep twice, so you've done a total of 2 days worth of travel at least. That's what it feels like. The Feywild makes it difficult to know for sure. Yeah.
Sorry, just as we'll have a little bit of downtime over that, would Thoricus and I be able to make one other bomb?
Yes, absolutely.
Which means I will use one of my spell slots. Did you want a darkness one again?
Yeah, well, whatever you think would be a good idea. We've got a spike growth bomb. I've
So I
got
think
unicorns, question mark.
nice. I mean, no, that'd be counterintuitive. Cure wounds bomb.
Okay.
I think out of
Interested to see
the
how it'll work.
spells I have, in terms of like ones that actually cover an area, I think darkness would be the most useful.
Cool. Let's make one of those then.
I won't place a template. So there we go.
Cool. What do we need to roll for this?
Tinker's Tools, and an Arcana check. We roll the Arcana check at advantage. Thoricus is helping with that point.
Cool.
I know magic-ys now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Kinda.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, a 14's not a 9.
That is true. It could have been interesting.
I helped.
Yeah.
Do you still have the Darkness Bomb?
I do not, I don't think.
No, we used one. That's why we
Yeah, I'm
made
just
it.
wondering if you know what I mean, like the
No.
Oh,
item
the function. Right.
function. That's fine. I'll just write that down on your sheet here. A lot of consumables.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's sometimes why it takes me a while when it's my turn in combat, because I'm like, I have a lot of things.
Darkness Bomb. Okay. Cool. Yep, you've successfully created at least visually and as far to your knowledge an identical bomb to what you have set off before. So you expect it to work exactly the same as before.
Cool. Awesome.
Cool. Alright. So yeah. Days worth of travel, no problem. Sleep. Everyone does their the normal overnight check. I'm not going to get you guys to do it. I don't think that you'll have a problem with it. The first night, another day's worth of travel. Second night, again, same sort of deal. Where Ailey fails to perceive, I'm sure you have someone fill in for them, and you awaken. Now having done 3 days worth of travel through this forest, and you're honestly not sure how much longer this is going to go. You're not sure if you've entered the Everthicket Wood yet or not. There doesn't seem to have been like a boundary or a sign or anything. The path has slowly dwindled away to, the occasional like matted grass where someone may have once stepped long time ago. The only thing that you know for sure is that you are still heading north. At least Thoracus is able to tell that. From the small gaps in the trees that you do see, you can see that you are at least somewhat approaching mountains. The nature of the Feywild has sort of led you to be like, are we though? As over the past day, it didn't seem like they were getting any closer. But yeah, that is where you are at the moment, having awoken after 3 days of travel. So
Ailey is useless and oblivious with all this sort of thing. So she'll just be following Thoracus very closely the entire time of all of this, being like, Thoracus knows forests.
Yep.
Okay.
Forests are too enclosed for Ailey's liking. So she's probably a bit agitated.
Internally, I think Jun's going, are we there yet? Why couldn't I get Null to just transport us there?
I'm really enjoying myself. Thoracus is just hell yeah. They might be kind of weird looking, but finally. But also, my god, everyone else makes so much noise.
yeah.
Jun's intimidating the forest. That's gonna make noise.
Can you glower any louder?
Yes, watch me.
Oh my god, it got worse.
Somehow that was louder. That's weird.
Like, whew, I don't think I want to know how you do that.
It's a challenge. You couldn't.
Oh, I bet I could.
We're gonna have a glowering contest.
Sure.
I'm definitely gonna lose, but I'm gonna try.
Alright. Roll intimidation checks.
Nice.
Oh wow.
Oh
Ooh.
no. Well, for the first time in a long time, Thoracus's intimidation has won out.
Because
Yep.
I did the freaky eye thing.
I'm glad it was the eyes and not the voice.
Mm-hmm.
No, because I appreciate quiet in the forest.
Well, okay. Intimidation contest 1. Thoracus's menacing glower is far more intimidating than Jin's, especially with the added fact of their eyes. How do your eyes appear? They are normally fully black. How much more intimidating do you make them?
I make them look like they're just like dancing with flames.
Yeah, that'd be pretty intimidating.
I think Jun probably changes his eyes too. But like, no matter what configuration of eyes he flicks through, he can't manage to find one that's quite intimidating enough. Like compared to dancing flames.
But he just overthought it so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
But
goes to
also-
like cat's eyes, half dragon eyes, any sort of eyes seen before that are slightly intimidating but can't pull off the same effect.
Codswallop's haunting eyes. But luckily for both of us, no one was willing to judge this competition, so hopefully Jun's pride is mostly intact.
Yeah, to be fair, we were pretty intimidating to, like, on a baseline.
Yeah.
So
That is true.
How are our rations going?
Well,
remembering that Jun picked up extras.
the bag of holding is now completely out of meals.
Does
Time to
Jun
hunt. And gather.
have some in his person?
Yes, Jim does have a meal for another night, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes, you grabbed enough meals for another day.
So I think, partway through the day when everyone's starting to get hungry and considering hunting and things, Jun's gonna be like, well, I knew this would happen. Pull out, like, some of the meals and just hand them around and be like, I knew we should have been doing more prep, but, at least we've got this.
Mm.
Thank you very much.
I still think we should look for more food before we completely run out.
Oh, yes, of course.
Good idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
well then.
Let's do some hunter gathering.
Sweet. How do you go about your hunt? What's the first thing to do?
Thing I do is look for the signs around me. What seems like it might be sort of doable in my immediate environment. Are there signs that there's a lot of edible plants around, or do I see like animal feces or trails?
All right. Survival check.
Is it at advantage or not?
In this area terrain, yeah, it would be. Well,
It is. It is.
it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah. Yeah.
That number.
All right. Okay. Well, there certainly seems to be a lot of edibles. Not in that way. There's certainly a lot of edible fruit and scavengables. Forageables. There's a lot of forageables. Many of these trees seem to be bearing fruit, in almost a constant state. It's like there's parts of the tree are going through, winter time, like they're losing their leaves. Everything's autumnal on a bunch of them. Some of them, height of summer, fruiting all over, budding. It's even the trees are entirely confused by the times here. So it gives you ample chance,
Doing their own thing.
ample opportunities for fruits. There is also lots of small patches of mushroom, many of which are trying to form fairy circles. You're not sure whether or not a tree has been felled there. Probably not, actually, when you really think about it. Just a state of nature here in the Feywild.
We gotta be careful. Those could be someone's home.
Mhm.
I think mushrooms are a safe bet at this point.
You know of a couple in this area that are safe for consumption and probably not being used for that. But you also do notice some tracks that could be of some sort of hoofed animal, or sort of a deer or something like that, of many different shapes and sizes. Either there's been a pack of them through here lately, or this is a common ground for them.
Definitely with 4 hooves per animal.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's-
That's important.
That is very important. Am I correct?
Okay. Well, I mean, gathering would be the safer bet. And it's the sort of thing of it's better to go for the sure thing rather than the maybe we'll get a thing and go off course. So it's safe for now we'd gather, and if we come across signs as we go, we might hunt as well. But just on a survival perspective, it's better to take what's already there.
Okay.
Anyone else got opinions?
No, that sounds good.
Ailey's just like wide-eyed staring, nodding and agreeing. She's got no idea.
Fair enough.
She's like, she's
Okay.
probably actually having some form of anxiety being in this crowded of an area, well, like enclosed for
It's
this
not-
long.
It's not particularly enclosed. It's certainly less
This
enclosed
one's
than the
not
jungle.
yet.
It's not. Yeah. It's not enclosed
super
like a
dense.
jungle. This is it's a pretty wide forest actually. There's not really. Yeah. It's not. It's thinned out enough, so much that you're actually able to see through the canopy a lot of the time. So it's not nearly the jungle that you've been through before. So. Okay. Well, with that, whoever wants to may roll an investigation check at advantage to see how much stuff you.
And my
Yes.
rolls are all really low. Oh wait, it was at advantage, right?
Yeah.
It's a little bit better. Ailey's like, okay, this is what the Rikers did and said, and is like trying to.
Well, I'd say that the whole point of that advantage is that the Rikus is aiding you guys in your research. It's also
So
why
suppose I
the
didn't
Rikus
need to
is
roll,
so low. That's fine.
I'm a wisdom girly, not an intelligence girly.
But yes. I would say you managed to forage for yourselves another modest meal. So enough for another day's journey.
Good stuff.
Put that in the bag of holding for you. Worth of fruit and berries and mushrooms and roots and other edibles. But otherwise, I'd say you continue on your journey. Whoever wants to may roll perception checks as you continue to move.
I can do that. Oh, I don't need to.
Well, all right.
Nice.
Yep.
Um,
And Ailey is just following behind Karakas and only doing stuff when told.
I'm in my element.
Mhm.
yeah. Well, moving through the trees, keeping good eye on the dwindling path that you have been following. You see in the corner of your eye at first, but then properly notice the ethereal white of a very glowing unicorn up ahead.
Is it Dave? I don't remember the unicorn's name. I don't think any
I
of
feel
us
like
do.
Dave was a unicorn's name.
I feel like
Yeah.
Dave was a unicorn's name. You from this distance you wouldn't know, but yeah, I'd say with that you'd know that this is probably the four-hooved creature that you.
Yeah, we are not hunting that.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
We made the right choice.
But as you guys get further in that direction, you notice that it is not just one, but a whole herd of unicorn, seeming grazing on the fruits and other forageables that you've also found yourselves snacking on. Off in the distance.
What do we do?
Before.
Thrikus,
I mean, we go-
What do we do?
Talk to them, right? Like,
Yeah, they're perfectly intelligent beings. I mean, we could just leave them alone.
but also we could get more information about where we're going and food between here and there and how long it's going to take.
maybe. If they're willing to
Or we can at least,
entertain
you
us.
know, be polite on the way past.
Yeah, we can do that. Instead of being all sneaky and dodgy.
I mean, unicorns have aided us in the past.
Yeah,
That's true.
but like, we've kind of just stolen them from
Eh,
here.
What if it's one of the ones that helped us before? Maybe they'll like us?
Or will they hate us because of that? We just ripped them out of their home into danger? Like,
I mean, we did, but they were
Oh.
also kind creatures who helped heal us when we were facing dire situations. I feel like they probably understand that.
they're probably pretty good people, I suppose. Oh, I feel guilty now.
I mean, it kept us alive. There is a bit of guilt for sure, but I mean, the alternative was us maybe not getting up again.
Yeah, like a lot of times.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we can absolutely apologize to one of them if we come across them, but
Yeah,
I'm still not sure how common unicorns are.
yeah.
I mean, if
How
they're
often is it
creatures
the
of any
same
intelligence,
one?
they'll understand our mission to rid the world of this horrible false death god. They will support it.
I got to imagine that they're on the side of no Black Sun God, surely.
Yeah. Okay. Let's have a chat with them.
Okey-doke.
So you just approach.
Hopefully in a non-menacing manner.
Yeah, just sort of let them know that
Ailey is
we're
just following
walking
behind casually.
Cool. Well, everyone roll an animal handling check for me, please.
Aye, aye, Captain.
I'm not a wise changeling.
This one an advantage? I don't think it is, because it's just for...
Uh,
What's my
Is that
favorite
what I
enemy?
rolled? Oh my god.
yeah, I guess they are
Because they're
fake.
fey,
They are
right?
fake creatures. Yeah, you can have advantage on this one.
Yeah. That one... Yeah, okay.
nice.
Ailey,
What?
animal handling, please.
Is it weird that it feels a bit racist that you're saying animal handling for them?
I mean,
What's the intelligence of a unicorn?
At the same time,
Ailey
it's just
does
us
like animals
being...
a lot.
so
But
this is
also, we are animals,
Yeah.
we're just incredibly arrogant, so...
that is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the reason why it's animal handling is more in you're approaching intelligent beings for sure, but they are, grazing in a herd. This is more on the how are you approaching in the most non-threatening way possible, and that is very much it's much more an animal handling thing than it is anything else. I mean, I guess we could also maybe do like a dexterity thing, but I'm kind of gonna say that Jun's kind of fucked it up for you here.
Yeah.
Ailey was like following close to Thrykus's movements, but also being like, she likes animals anyway. She likes animals a lot.
Yeah.
So,
And justifiably,
Exactly.
justifiably, unicorns in the Feywild do act more like a bunch of wild horses because they are hunted like a bunch of wild horses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things in the Feywild that they need to be just ready to up and get
Yeah.
away from or
Yeah.
trample.
Exactly.
And Jun probably smells threatening.
Quite.
Jun probably smells.
Yeah.
3 days of us hiking, none of us know how to like.
Oh yeah, none of you know
Clean.
prestidigitation or anyway.
Yeah, we're like,
Pumpkin.
Jun's not overly interested in how other people perceive his scent most of the time.
Anyway,
Until he upsets a bunch of unicorns.
yes, we'll blame the scent.
yes. But yes, you'll approach as carefully as you can, but then you will hear a twig snap behind you and look to see Jun standing on a broken twig that echoes throughout the forest, and all of the unicorns bolt in the other direction. Some of them even completely disappear, so you don't, seems like they just completely vanished from sight, not just ran away.
Ailey will
And-
turn around and like glare at John for ruining her chance to pat a unicorn.
Jun like genuinely deflates and looks sad.
She just wanted to pat the unicorns because they're always in a fight.
too.
I think
Not that
they
he's
have
gonna
managed to
target it.
pat one or two, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
You've pet them before. When they were
Yeah.
summoned.
There's only been like one occasion, I think, where the unicorns disappeared, like during the fight.
Yeah. But
Jun will like whisper very quietly under his breath, "Sorry," so that like just a unicorn can hear.
but
Well,
that is still the way you're going, so you continue on. And you notice left behind in the area that they were congregating, a sort of air of like the very air around the area has been like cleansed, essentially. Like it is the freshest, crispest air you've ever smelt and ever felt go into your lungs. You feel vitalized by being in the very area that they've been present in, which is a nice change from trudging it for 3 days. But with that,
Thrykus,
Yeah?
do you think that unicorn poop is worth money?
Probably not in the Feywild.
Do I think unicorn poop is worth money?
With a history check like that,
I mean, it's fertilizer.
I mean,
You think that's my reaction? We're like, it's poop.
I think your reaction is someone probably wants it for a ridiculous amount of money.
Like, who am I to, kink shame?
Yeah.
Cat kinks are a thing. Okay.
God. Does that change your mind on whether or not you're gonna?
Just carries on. Just a passing thought.
We don't even have gloves. You really want to be touching that
No.
poop?
I mean, touching anything in the Feywild is apparently a bad idea, so I imagine that is too.
Although I would say with your passive perception, with anybody, pretty much anyone's passive perception, you would notice as you're walking through that there doesn't seem to be any droppings of any kind from any unicorn.
Not even a startled, I'm gonna start running poop.
No.
I wonder if unicorn poop is invisible.
Oh god, are we walking through just a mile of it now?
I mean, we can't perceive it if that's a thing, so I'm okay with it.
Everywhere is unicorn poop, but it is odorless, invisible, and you can't feel it.
The secret thing is, in life, everything is poop.
Oh dear. Anyway, with that, now that you are hanging out in this area, does anybody else want to make a proper perception check to really look around?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, I think Jin will give it a go, even though that's... Yeah. That's what he should have rolled before, god damn it.
Mhm.
There's so many of us, someone had to scare the unicorns. Yeah.
Statistically, that is true.
Too upset about the unicorn.
Yeah.
Okay? She just wanted to pet a unicorn.
It was the first good thing around here in forever.
Mhm. Well, those of you who are paying attention are looking. You're trying to see if there's any way you could possibly catch up with the unicorns or whatever, see what else is going on here. But you spot through the trees another glowing thing, not a unicorn this time, but seemingly a tree that is glowing, but it's sort of changing colors. You
That's
can't quite make it out from where you are, but it's in the direction that you are going.
Ailey would be like, what kind of colors? Like, what's it?
Like pastels, like blues
Yeah, Ailey would be
and
interested in the weird, pretty thing and kind of like half memorized be walking toward it.
it's extremely pale blues and pinks, and it is like swirling around it like
Yeah, that definitely sounds like something that she'd be drawn to.
it's like watercolors and a blender, but not as fast. Like very slow moving, glowing, but not brightly glowing, but enough to make it completely stand out from anything else that's around it. It's like you've seen glowing mushrooms and big crazy mushrooms, crystals and stuff going around. This tree that you see right now is far more magically intense Feywild than anything else you've seen. It is completely wild.
It's definitely more of a magical luminescence rather than an organic luminescence.
100%.
Hmm.
How does John feel about this?
That's a good question. Roll me an insight check.
Oh yes. So wise.
I would say you're not sure what you're feeling about it, but you do distinctly notice that the effect, the subtle movements, and the colors that aren't the real pastels, the blues and the pinks, when it's not those, when it's that in between, it is a striking complexion to your other form. Yeah. So, Ailey is moving towards it, mesmerized. What's everybody else doing?
I think Jun will walk with Ailey, like not mesmerized, but just like, this one kind of sometimes makes crazy decisions. So I'm just gonna be near her when she's going up to the thing.
Fair. Everybody else? Varus, Thrakus?
Yeah, I want to
Varus-
get closer.
Cool. Varus?
Varus is going to be staying back just a little bit from the group and keeping eyes out for things around this, watching for like an ambush possibly, or anything else that might be skulking around, taking advantage of us.
Fair enough.
Looking at this thing.
Alright. We'll give you the same perception roll for that. That's fine. Hanging back, watching for ambushes. Everybody else. Yeah, I'd say Micaiah is interested enough as well. She will move forward with you guys. Get closer and closer to this tree. Yeah, as it becomes clear in your vision, it is what it appeared to be. It is a tree that is entirely made of that light. The bark on it is like almost translucent with that light and the swirling, slow moving pinks and blues will flow up this trunk into small branches. You see now the leaves that are ever so slightly falling, so not like all at once sort of falling, but like ever so slightly one of them or two of them is falling off the branches at regular intervals, and as they drift down, they flick from their pale white pastel color into pure gold, like strikingly shiny gold, but then turn to ash before they touch the ground.
Jun's gonna reach out and hold his hand out to let one of the leaves fall onto it.
Ailey's probably doing the same thing.
Okay. Well, Ailey, you actually both of you, you're gonna have to get up a little bit to do this. So, Ailey, you can fly, so that's probably not too much of an issue for you. But Jun, roll me a acrobatics check.
Wait, so roll acrobatics, both of us?
No, you can fly. You can get up there. Jun's gonna have to like jump a bit to try and catch one. Cool. So yeah, Ailey, you're up in the air immediately, trying to grab at them. You immediately notice that as soon as you touch them, even if they haven't turned gold yet, they turn to ash in your hands. You are very sad.
No.
Yeah, and even the ash doesn't stay. Like you can't even collect the ash. It just absolutely disappears in your hands. Jun, you dive up and grab one of the leaves as it starts to turn to gold. Then you land back down and look at it in your hand. It hasn't turned to ash yet, it is still gold, but where it is making contact with your hand, your original complexion is coming out and spreading over your hand.
Jun jumps back and like as if it's hot and like as if burning ash has landed on his hand, he jumps back and flicks it away from him and shakes his hand out.
Alright. You look back at your hand and it has returned to its half-elven complexion.
He's in the way that like when a cat has been spotted, you know, doing something not particularly graceful, he's gonna like correct his posture and look at the group and be like, felt weird, and walk away casually.
Well,
Did we see what happened there?
I would say, because you're looking out for ambushes and stuff, Varys, you would not have seen that. Ailey also quite distracted. Thoricus, I don't think your flat perception would have clocked that, but you may roll an insight on Jun, and Jun, you may roll a deception.
Hehe. God damn it, that was nearly a nat 20.
It'll do.
Yep. I will say that you're not. You don't know. You don't think that there's anything particularly untoward by what Jin said, or that they're trying to particularly deceive you. But you are kind of like, why did Jin have that and not Ailey?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
I think, yeah, Jun is quite unsettled. He makes a point of never being in that form for good reasons, and I think is quite perturbed, but trying to obviously not let on.
Okay.
No. I will say that you will all notice that Jun is a little bit more twisted type than they normally are, but you can't quite place exactly why. But Varys, you approach now, content that there is no approaching ambush or anything like that. And with your passive perception, I would say you notice, once you get close to the tree, that there are several more trees exactly like this, off in the distance in the direction that you are heading.
Oh, look, there's more of them. And Varys will point out towards them. Seem to be kind of lining the way of us going there. They're in the same direction.
Oh, very pretty. Lovely.
And Thoricus will get you to roll a nature check with advantage, please.
Okay.
Well,
Nice.
I mean, I was gonna lick one, but if I don't have to.
I don't recommend licking it. It's a bit weird.
Have you met me? It's for science. We're allowed to be weird for science.
That's
I mean,
usually a
I
defining
don't expect
factor
you to
in
do
it.
what I say. Sorry, Varys?
I think that's a defining factor in it. Is it weird? Yes. More likely to get a lick then.
That's how we find out about things.
Yeah, that's fair. Even so, you have never seen one of these trees before, but you are distinctly aware of what they are now that you've gotten up close and can see that they're exactly how they work. This is an aptly named elfwood tree. Said to said to be trees of great magical influence, that you know, not really rumored, but some believe that they are the the actual origin point of elves, that elves came out of these trees at some point in the long history, that they the trees gave birth to elves. They are extremely magical. The magic is immediately gone as soon as you cut them down.
Yep.
But have been known to show up where there are great nexuses of energy. A lot of the time, usually when there's where there are weakened parts of the plains, where it's easy to traverse between the plains, between not necessarily just the prime material plane, but all planes, the hells, the heavens, all of them. But just another one of those many Feywild fuckery things that show up, but are otherwise normally pretty harmless.
But it's kind of on the edge of things, an
Yeah.
in-between place. So maybe we're getting close? And maybe this sort of place would be an area we could get back home through. You're not going to answer my questions, but, maybe.
Maybe.
Ailey is just like, nod to anything Thoricus says, because forest.
Hmm.
So
Oh,
is
Bailey.
Thoricus explaining to the group that,
Yeah.
I think Jun will, as they walk through where the trees are, briefly pray to Null to test the connection. Can you hear me better now? Hi, I miss you. But just quietly as they walk so that people don't notice.
Yeah, I'd say that it's like when you're holding up your phone to try and get better bars.
Yeah.
And you move it into position, and you're like, yes, right here I've got perfect bars, and you look again and it's changed. That's exactly what you're getting. You can feel like you're passing through pockets where you've got more connection, but holding your position where that seemed like it was just doesn't seem to hold true. It's like there's whatever thinning of the veil is here is just as wild as anything else going on here in the Feywild. But what Thoricus says holds pretty true, that there is a thinning here, and if you knew someone who was capable of bridging that thinning, then this would probably be the best way to do it.
I think as he walks and kind of experiences this, weird mix in cell signal type experience, Jin's gonna go, I wonder if this is how the hags were getting up.
Like a hag portal type of thing?
I mean, yeah, like, it would be a good spot, I guess. If what Thoricus says is...
Mm.
Yeah.
I can believe it
his-
for sure.
It wouldn't necessarily be the only place, though. And since the way we got in was closer to the hags we found, maybe that was more where they were crossing at that specific place. And if we leave here, we still don't know where we'll end up or when. If I have that information.
Yeah, you're familiar enough with the Feywild, you know that stuff just as Jim does. I would say that, along with your knowledge of the trees, you know that places where it's weakened with the right skill set is the more prime place and usage to ease that transition. So, you know, as opposed to just slamming through some open portal somewhere and just seeing the state you come in on the way out, this would be the perfect place to stabilize a portal to the right time, the right place. If you had someone who knew how to plane walk like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Good information for if we do make a hasty exit.
Yes.
Of course, that also requires being able to find this place again.
It's better than no place, I guess.
Oh, of course. We should use all the resources at our disposal.
So, continuing on then.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you travel for the rest of the day, continuing on that direction. There is a point at which the elfwood trees reach, you know, a maximum where there's just a lot of them around, more than other regular trees. But as you continue on, they thin out again. You don't. Jin's obviously checking more for the connection, all that sort of stuff. You don't feel like it got particularly more stronger as the more trees were. It seems like they're just. It's not that they're
not correlated with the strength of the.
Exactly. They're not causing it. They seem to be a symptom of it instead. So it's not that. Yeah. Their prominence isn't indicative of the epicenter or anything like that. It's just they're here. There's a weakening here, so they're here, and they probably grow very much similarly to other trees, with fruiting and all that sort of stuff. So that's just where they ended up.
Does Jun have the sense that, like, if he removed a branch, that it would continue to be magical? Or
so Thoricus would have explained that cutting the tree down would remove its magic.
So same thing for removing a branch, or a leaf, or a
I would say that Thoricus would know that there are rumors and hearsay about weapons and things being made out of elfwood that retain this magic, but has no knowledge of how that is possible exactly, whether or not that is being branches broken off or anything like that. All they do know is that anyone who has tried to actually collect the wood has always tried to chop it down, because it's the best way to get the wood out of it, and it's always led to completely mundane wood. So
We do have a friend that can speak with plants, though. Maybe if we ask nicely for a branch, we might be able to make something of it.
Be.
Could be worth a shot, no?
Mm. As long as we don't make them angry.
Yeah,
You
true.
could start by saying, "Hi, how are you doing?"
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, don't talk to them like I talk to them.
Have a conversation and then sort of bring it around to that and ask politely, rather than just trying to cut it off. Micaiah, what do you think of this?
I mean, I can give it a shot. I've never tried to talk with particularly magical trees before, so. And
They
these
might be good conversationalists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And these seem. I don't know how I know, but they seem old. Very old.
Just thinking back to the bow we were recently exposed to, does it seem like it was maybe made out of similar wood?
Yeah. For sure. Like, if there was an archfey put together a bow out of something, this is probably it.
Yeah, Varus will point that out to the group as well. It seems to be the same wood used for the bow that we saw in town. So it's definitely possible.
Okay. Well, I can try two things. I can just try and force it to grow with my druidcraft into something. Or I can try to talk to it.
I don't think
What?
force is a good idea.
When I say force, I mean
Like encourage?
encourage. Yeah, exactly.
Encourage
Like-
the growth through magic.
Yeah, like
Perhaps
you would.
ask first.
Yeah.
Yeah, they may also just have some good information, if nothing else, if they've been here for a long time.
But we may
Okay.
need to give them something in return.
Yeah, sure.
What is there anything in particular you want to ask of them?
Good question. How do you all think we should phrase this?
Do unicorns poop?
Wait, I mean, it's like our long shot question, I guess.
Okay,
I
I
feel
can
like
ask that.
Okay, maybe not, maybe not.
Okay.
No, I think asking them about the woods that we journey through, and I don't imagine they know much about places that they're not living, but might be handy to beseech upon them for their wisdom
Sure.
about this area of the forest.
Okay.
And if perhaps they have a branch spare that we might fashion into a weapon to try and kill a god that will surely destroy this plane.
I see.
Maybe ease into that one. It seems a bit scary.
Perhaps I just start with something funny and light-hearted, and then we move into asking more deep questions. Yes?
Sure.
And then I can,
see if they're receptive.
you can just relay them to me, and I'll give answers, yeah?
Sounds good.
Cool. Alright. You see them cast the spell, speak with plants, and they say, reaching out but not touching one of the elven wood trees that is elf wood trees that is in front of them. And they say, "Do unicorns poo?" And after a moment of seemingly getting something relayed to them, they say, "Yes, and that's the sort of magic that they like having on them. So I guess it's fertilizer for these kinds of trees."
Yeah, track.
Good to know.
Very cool.
What do we want to know next?
Ask them if there's anything they've ever wanted to pass on to somebody, but just haven't been able to, through being a tree.
Is there anything that you would want to pass on to anybody, if you weren't a tree? With that, Micaiah stands there listening intently for a seemingly quite a long time. Like more than just a sentence worth of information.
That's the right question.
Yeah. And then she nods and says, "Okay, if I ever get back, I'll tell them." And then she turns to you guys and goes, "Yeah, it's kind of personal for someone I know. I don't know how this tree knows it, but yeah."
Okay. All right.
I think, are you like an ancestor of his? Is that what's happening right now? Gets some sort of response. "Oh, okay. Yeah. 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 It turns out they're like my great granduncle."
Holy shit.
At least that's if they're telling the truth. I don't know. This tree is tricksy.
Sorry, run that one by me again. Sorry, this tree is tricksy.
Yeah, they're far more coy. They're far more coy than any tree I've ever talked to before. Maybe it's just the age.
Yeah, fair. I guess maybe ask if they know anything about the surrounding area that we should know.
Okay. Do you know anything about this area that we should know? Any dangers? Anything for us to look out for? Tree responds back. Micaiah responds. Well, not particularly, it seems. It does say that that a bit further on ahead there is some dangers. It wasn't clear about them. It wouldn't happen to be the Wild Hunt by chance, would it?
No.
And then she hears back. Well, they're not sure, but maybe. I don't know, man. This tree's speaking in riddles.
Either way, something to be wary of, even if we don't quite know what. That is good to know.
By chance, do you know if we're in or close to the Ever Thicket Wood? And she quickly snips back. Yes, we're in the Ever Thicket Wood now, apparently. That is what the trees say.
Oh, that's useful to know.
Yeah, makes sense, I guess, too. Did you just say that you're gonna do something for the tree?
Yes, it told me about one of my relatives that that they have
Okay.
a secret that I'm going to go back and tell them when I see if I see them again.
Okay. Um. What do you all think?
Okay.
Yes.
Can I ask a secret question?
Sure.
I don't know how you're gonna ask the tree. Maybe whisper it.
I can whisper it to the tree. Yeah.
And so he's gonna lean in and very quietly whisper in Makai's ear. Like why do your leaves turn my skin back?
See her lean in as close as she is willing to get to the tree and whisper something to it. And come back and whisper quietly to you, Jenna, in front of everybody. They say they're not sure. But I know he made a joke about like returning to your roots or something. He's not nice to talk to be honest.
And in front of everyone, I think Jin's gonna like explode slightly and be like, "Well, that's not helpful." and like make it very obvious to everyone that whatever answer he got was not satisfying or useful.
Perfect.
Varys probably looks at Jun and just blinks a couple of times at the outburst.
Mikhail will just look at everybody else and shrug.
Haley will be like, "Can you ask it to share?
Share what?
Like leaves or wood or something?"
Oh, yes, right, of course.
Ask if it would be able to lend a branch to our cause.
Yeah, it's just...
I
You
want a
ever-
stick.
You ever talk to somebody and you just feel drained? You know?
Every day.
Anyway.
In and out of character.
Yep. Would it be possible for you to... I can help with this, obviously. You to grant us a boon of some sort for us to take a branch, a piece of your ness to aid us in some way. You see Micaiah, just like the life drain out of Micaiah's face, just like the whole color is gone. She is just like, yes, yeah, yes, okay, all right. He says he will give us a branch, a pointy stick, specifically. Nothing that can be crafted into any sort of bow or anything like that. But a magical stick is a magical stick, I guess.
I suppose it could also be fashioned into the hilt of a sword or something similar as well.
Maybe?
Or inlaid into something.
Possibly.
Or I guess it itself could just be, I don't know, like a wand or something. Stabby wand.
Maybe.
Suppose he came at you with a pointed stick.
Quite. Alright.
What's the condition?
Well,
Sounds like there was a but in that sentence.
There is much screaming from Dizzy. Hang on.
it wasn't so
dear.
much... He just droned on about stuff for a bit there, and then finally accepted it. He's still talking right now.
I mean, probably doesn't get the chance for much time to talk to people, right?
Well,
I don't know. I am not from here. I'm just guessing. I can't
See-
think of any time I've ever talked to a tree.
yeah. See, my spell lets me cast Speak with Plants, but in an area around us. So he is not just answering and talking to me. He is talking to every other tree around here, and they're all doing it. They're all talking like this.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are they
Yeah.
like separate entities? Is like one of them your great
I hesitate.
grand auntie?
I hesitate to ask.
Fair enough.
But also,
Oh.
I'm taking that with an extremely large grain of salt.
Mm.
Let's get the pointy stick and get out of here.
Yes,
Sounds like a
please,
good idea.
let's.
What is the cost of the pointed stick?
Just that I absolutely have to tell this
So you
person.
have to keep up that secret.
Yes, and to definitely not tell you, unfortunately.
Then I suppose
fine.
it's your pointed stick.
Yes, I guess it is. You see her now cast Druidcraft and sort of like push her hand in sort of twisting motion towards the heart of the tree. And as they pull back, the tree's wood darkens in a spot, but not like it darkens as in the glow that is not entirely present, but the colors seems to still hold on, and out from that spot they pull out a sharpened branch from it, and without a break or anything like that, it just seems to come away from the tree, and they are now holding a pointed stick that, other than what you just witnessed, you would have no inclination to think that it was particularly magical. But you know that it came from a magic tree willingly. The guy just holds it in her hands.
I'm back.
Cool.
Well, we have the stick. I'm not.
Wonderful.
It's not my kind of magic. Well, I mean, I guess it is kind of, but I don't really know how to tell if something's more magic than this, I guess.
I
Old
could
magic.
I could attempt an identify on it, but I don't think it's an item. It might give me like a knowledge of some of the magic used, but I'm not sure.
I mean, it's worth a shot, right?
Sure, yeah. Do we have 10 minutes? I'd
Let's
rather not use a spell slot, just in case.
at the very least get out of here first, please.
For sure, yeah.
Thank you, trees.
Thank you, all the trees.
Thank you, trees.
No, don't. No. No.
No, do not thank anything in the Fey realm.
Why not? They've given us something and we thank them in exchange, surely?
Which means that you owe them a favor.
We're doing a favor, though.
We are doing them a favor.
We'll make sure that secret gets back, and then we'll
You
be fine.
have to very much specify exactly what you are doing in exchange for what they have done for you, or it is a miscellaneous, however big they want, favor.
I mean, as long as
Isn't it-
Nakaya doesn't translate that, I think it's fine.
How do you know they
I don't
know what we're
speak
saying
tree.
right now? Also, you've said it in such a broad way, loudly, into
Well,
this
I
area.
don't know how many trees speak common.
There's probably more than trees here. Please be more careful.
I specifically say thank you, trees, though. So
Yeah.
Phoenix.
Oh, there's this guy named Trees that's just like, yes,
I've got you.
my delicious trap has been sprung. You wouldn't pay off eventually.
We've been waiting here 1,000 years for someone to touch the trees.
Alden killed off her branch.
Oh my god.
Afraid not. Afraid I did not plan that far ahead.
Okay, let's get out of these very talkative trees area.
I want to talk to the trees.
Believe me, you do not. And you guys get about 10 minutes away, and Micaiah seems finally relieved as their spell is finally worn off. Okay, now we can stop for a bit.
The trees, they scream. Do we want a short rest? Does Micaiah need a short rest?
It won't help him at all, really.
Okay.
I mean, you're gonna have to sit here for 10 minutes while Varys does the identify.
Yeah. Does that mean I can gather in the area?
Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah. What do you want me to roll?
Roll a survival check, see what's in the area.
Hey.
Wow, okay. So obviously there's a lot of these elfwood trees which don't seem to be bearing fruit currently, which is odd because it seems like that's how they propagate, but that's...
Well,
maybe it's
that's
not
the mystery, isn't it?
It is the mystery.
If we ate a fruit, would we eat an elf?
But the trees that are not elfwood also seem starkly barren at this point. But there are a few very thorny bushes that do have berries.
Nice. Like, berries I can definitely identify?
Yes, you can identify that they are edible berries, but getting at them is going to be very difficult as they are extremely thorny bushes. So,
Okay. What have I got in my inventory? Give me a minute.
cool. Meanwhile, you may roll your identify.
Cool.
All right. So get in your circle, lay out your stuff, wave your hands, do your motions, do the ritual, push that spell into the item to pull out what it can out of it, and immediately brought back is just magical power. That's a magical item, baby. But within that, just like pounding of raw magical essence, get some properties out of it, but like,
Is there anything from the object that has like a... Does it have a want for a particular purpose? Or a way to be shaped or anything like that?
not in particular. You get the sense that anything... Okay, I'll say what you do know about it. You know that it is a +3 stick, pointy stick.
Nice. Hell yeah.
That it is very magical. That if you tried to put it into something, it would... Anyone who tried to put it into anything else would have to be extremely skilled. Very skilled, both in magic and in crafting. But it has it a guess that anything a button would retain that magic and would imbue it with with anything really. It's just the level of skill whoever does it has. You immediately can see exactly what happened with the bow, right? That an archfey came along and asked these elfwood trees to bear a bow, and they crafted it from that.
Okay.
Because Micaiah didn't know what to ask for and just asked for a magic stick. That's what they got.
Fair enough.
And because they obviously, were under psychic attack the whole time, they didn't really have the forethought to do that.
No, that's totally fair.
But yeah, you can. It seems like because of that nature, it's extremely unstable for what it would for any sort of use like that. You try to put it into something, it's very plausible that it could go horribly awry.
Yeah, it's boundless potential, but that boundless potential is also part of the issue.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, it'll need somebody pretty damn skilled to be able to craft it into something. If we can manage it, it has virtually anything we could think of that we would want to do with it, we could. Maybe, I mean, we do have the help of a couple of wizards back on the material plane, a couple of whom I think could help fit the bill for this.
Well,
I know what I want to do with the berries.
okay.
Okay. Well, I might need some help. Would Jun and Ailey help me?
Good question.
I need
Jen,
them to
Bailey?
stretch out my cloak behind this bush.
Jin
I know where this is going.
tentatively goes and does that and very pointedly does not look at what's gonna happen.
Cool.
Are you all good?
Ailey, are you helping pull out the cloak behind the bush? Ailey? I think Ailey is dealing with kitty cats. I would say that they would help with this, especially considering I've been just doing what Thrykus says at this point.
Yeah. I was like, catch as many as you can. And I go in front of the bush. And I will, without hitting the bush, use my Great Sword of Thunder. To try to strip the berries out of the bush.
Oh dear. Okay. Well, Thrykus and Ailey holding this cloak out behind this bush, as tightly as they
You
can.
mean Jun and Ailey?
Sorry, Jin and Ailey. So, as tightly as they can.
It's usually us two.
Yep. And see Thrykus swing this great axe down and
Sword.
great sword. Man, brain
Sorry.
tired.
It's almost time for us to stop.
Yeah. Swing it down and a crackle of thunder and just a massive gust blasts through this bush and fills the cloak with berries and leaves and thorns.
That's a far more of a berry ratio.
Yeah. As the bush is left mainly barren.
Wait, what did I miss? Are we cutting down one of the trees?
No, the Ruckus used their great sword of thunder to blow a bunch of berries and leaves and thorns off of a berry bush.
Because it was covered in thorns. And Ailey and Jun were holding the cloak, my cloak, to catch him with.
Mm-hmm.
I call that mostly a success.
Yeah, you still have to go through and get all the berries
Yeah.
out, but yes, it
There's
is.
a lot less thorns.
Yeah, it was indeed.
Excellent. Yeah, I mean, I'd be able to spend my watch picking through those. Sorting that out. Berries are high value.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah, they keep you going.
All right. Yeah, I'd say that. I mean, I don't think you get enough for a full meal out of lost in one bush.
No, but they'll
But,
be an accompaniment.
They will indeed be in the company.
I'm happy.
But yes, you will get back to Varus. Yeah, who's got a +3 pointy stick.
I'll tie my cloak into a little sack that I'm now carrying. Full of bush bits.
Nice.
Fair enough.
Ooh, bush bits.
Yeah. We don't know what was in that bush.
We don't want to know what was in that bush.
I might find out.
You might find out.
Yeah. That's what I said. Didn't I?
I don't want to find out. I just, I'll eat some berries. Later.
Okay, buddy.
Once they've been separated from the bush.
Sure, buddy. Can the berries truly be separated from the bush? Are they not bush berries?
You're putting Jun off the berries. He does not like bush.
Oh, Chud.
Cool.
Oh dear.
Well, I presume the setup of this shenanigan and Thrakus looking at the bush and umming and ahhing has taken the 10 minutes, right?
Oh yeah, exactly. You've returned to Varus now, who has indeed identified the +3 pointy stick.
Yay.
I think maybe if we're able to get this back, I don't know whether or not they're still butting heads, but Alphon and Zupemo were working together, and I think between those two we might be able to make something pretty damn cool out of this stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's assuming they haven't bitten each other's heads off so far. You know, it was bad enough in that one 10-minute chunk in which we talked to them and they were yapping at each other.
Do you think they'd live without heads?
I feel like Alphon would find a way to.
Yeah.
He looks old even for an elf. Like he has lived a life.
Yeah.
I feel like he'd keep going just out of spite.
Yeah.
Thrakus has nicknamed Elephon Elephant in their head because old.
Yep.
Also, word association, good for remembering names.
Those.
Yeah, that's why they're probably gonna just be elephant now in my brain, and so therefore Ailey's.
Hey, but at least we're remembering they exist.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna forget by next week.
That's okay. So would Ailey.
Yep.
I mean, there's part of a reason why I made Ailey also like ADHD, and that was before I even got my diagnosis.
Same, but autism.
Yeah, it's like easier to play dumb characters because then if you're not there that day, it doesn't and you you can still play a dumb person no matter what state you're in, basically.
Sometimes it's easier if they share your own stuff just a little bit.
You need enough to make it easy to play, you know?
Method acting to the extreme.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
Method character creation.
Self-insert. Anyway, well, you continue on after identifying the stick and getting through these trees, and yes, as it was apparently revealed to Kaya, you are in the Ever Thicket Wood now. You make it at least another day's travel. At least that's how far it feels like you guys have been walking. Before you want to take another rest. And we'll do that next time because it's late and I'm tired.
I'm just making a note.
Yes. Time for a long rest indeed. Cool
For everyone.
beans.
The
All right.
beans, they be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. Yeah, we'll see you next time. Yes. Really much else to say at this point. Yeah. Thanks everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.